Safe food, they say, gives consumers good health and nourishment and keeps them from health problems like diarrhea, typhoid and tummy aches. Local eateries and street food have increasingly become the go-to options for most Ghanaians when looking for affordable, accessible and delicious local delicacies. However, some street food vendors lack a basic understanding of proper food handling practices, leading to the spread of diseases, resulting in the continuous increase in reported cases of food poisoning. In view of this, the Food and Drugs Authority has entreated restaurant owners, street food vendors, among others, to obtain its food hygiene permit.
And then in 2012, we had our Public Health Act 851. That's from 2012. And all of these laws have always had in them that every food business operator must register or license their premises.
What does it entail?
Well, licensing of food facility, let me put it that way, because some will be restaurants, some are hotels, some are manufacturing plants, so let's just call them food facilities. We do the inspection, and then there is an application form that has to be completed such that we know the particulars of the people, and we take them basically as business entities, and then we register. And what we do after that is just give you a license or a permit. In the case of food manufacturing facilities, we call them licenses. In the case of restaurants, hotels, eateries, all other eateries like the street food vendors you're talking about, we give them food hygiene permits.
But are these food vendors aware of this? I visited some local eateries and street food vendors to check if they have this permit.
We just heard about it. So I've contacted a friend who works there so that they can come and spread this place and give us the permit. Because this is the business we do. We can't stop it. So once they set permit, I've called them to come and spread the place, and they give us the permit. Yes.
But how do you keep the place hygienic where you cook, both where you cook and where you serve?
Yeah, immediately after, let's say, after cutting onions or tomatoes, then we sweep the place. We use water to wash it. After keeping like a place we keep the vegetables like this, every day you have to see to it that maybe you can't get any rotten ones, which will affect the others. Then you move it out, take it to the dustbin to be disposed. Good. It will keep us so that we will be always alert about how we do the business, because once it's food, if food is contaminated, it will be very bad.
Yeah, we have one. Like I said, we have a lot of permits. We have environmental agency permits. We have the Quality, their permits. We have a lot of permits. But with the FDA permits, it's mostly when we go for that permits, we paste it by, and we also make sure like when you come in, the environment is clean and stuff. So anytime they come to check of that sort, when they come in, they say the place is nice, and then we are abiding by the rules and everything they expect from us. Paste it for anyone who will request before maybe buying the food, so, and then we paste it for them to see. Place as a convenient place where they can have a view of it. Yeah.
This watches seller, who has obtained a municipal health certificate, questioned why she needed to get the FDA's permit.
Yeah, every year, but many say a be a full become because every year be a card in Ukraine. And no come show my wire lab no my show be into Yarebo who cry fro no my catch say Yarebo on into Ohonum cry per bois because baby and you see typhoid. I'm not even crying your doctors or honor or motion. Into say a new na minim say omoye, but I said different one about can who they knew their minim. Omoye advert and says sena ya omode ka enam no sa na omoye we ni omo de can na mama this but
Mariam Lovelace Johnson, the director, Inspectorate Directorate of the FDA, explains why the street food vendors needed a permit from the authority.
For food facilities like this, you need to have the EPA permit to show that the place is situated such that it's not going to have any adverse environmental impact. So that's why you need it. We have the food handlers test. That is also to ensure that the person cooking the food or the person involved in the processing of the food has no any disease that can be transmitted through food. So that's why that permit is given. And so when FDA is given its permit, it looks at all of these. That do you have that? Do you have the EPA? Do you have then we'll give you the food hygiene permit. When we give the food hygiene permit, what the whole thing is telling you is that the place is safe, the place is hygienic, and it is such that when you eat from there, you are not going to get any ill effects.
However, it seems the FDA needs to undertake some sensitization, as some customers I spoke to purchase from their favorite wache, kinky, or food joints based on the taste and price.
Normally we don't look out for any permits, and we just look around if the place is hygienic enough. Yeah, and mostly it's the taste of the food that make us buy. That's it. It's a good initiative. Like if they should implement it and back it with the law, it will be very good. At least for us to know that FDA also think about what we take into our system. Yeah.
So I look at two things: hygiene and then taste. If the place is neat and then the food is tasty, it doesn't matter the price. It's perfectly good because sometimes you go to some eateries, I bet you can't even sit down, talk of eating. So if they are coming in to bring us a permit, that means they will have done the checks to know that the people have gotten to that peak of hygiene before they give the permit. So it's good. It's a very good initiative. At least it will cut off all those places where you go and you cannot even sit, talk of eating.
Mariam Lovelace Johnson advised operators of food joints to prioritize the health and safety of the public and added that food safety was a shared responsibility, calling on all to play their part.
As for the part of the law that says if you are not complying to what the law says, you have your jail term and all of that, it's been there since time immemorial. But it's not just enforcement. Education. And some of these things are consumer driven. If the consumers understand that they do not have to buy things that are exposed, things that are left at the mercy of dust, at the mercy of flies, at the mercy of people's saliva and all of that, those selling will not even sell because nobody will buy.
The Food and Drugs Authority has called on operators of local eateries and street food vendors to obtain its food hygiene permit because it will start enforcing the law. It has also called on customers to look out for their stickers at all eateries. Reporting for Citi News, my name is Ansheli Zero.